It is 6 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer from the Superbook.com sports desk. William Contreras and Eddie Rosario hit back-to-back homers in the second inning. Ronald Acuna Jr. doubled 3 times, drove in 3 runs, and the Atlanta Braves routed the New York Mets 13-1 for their 7th straight win.
Offering on the way. That is spanked to deep center. Nemo back to the wall. Forget about that one. Straightaway center field, 1-0 Atlanta.
The Braves moved within 4.5 games of New York for the NL East lead. Game 2 of the 4-game series is tonight at Truist Park. First pitch set for 6:20. Dodgers ace and former Vandy star Walker Buehler will have season-ending elbow surgery. Alabama is number 1 in the Associated Press preseason college football poll for the second straight season. 9th time overall. Ohio State 2, defending champion Georgia 3, Clemson 4, Notre Dame 5. Meanwhile, Tennessee received the most votes of others receiving votes, essentially making them 26th. Miles Brennan, who was LSU starting quarterback early in the 2020 season but missed most of the past 2 seasons with injuries, is stepping away from college football. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening? Welcome in, J Mart and Ramon, 104.5 The Zone. Powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors in Nashville. Somebody just said, the Mets won, play it. No, they lost, 13-1. Got crushed.
They lost pretty bad.
Loved it. Loved it.
To who? Do you remember
Atlanta.
who it was? It was Atlanta?
Yeah, we're playing them this week.
Oh,
wow.
I know what song they we're not playing that song.
Well,
No.
they didn't want the closer in either. So, I mean,
Well, they weren't going to have the close.
Well,
but
they
getting
want us
beat
to
by
play the
12
song
runs.
ironically against the Mets.
I mean,
Yes. No.
Atlanta doesn't have a
He
song.
says,
do
I
they?
mean the Braves won. Well, you said the Mets won,
Oh, Jay, he's on your side.
but I appreciate that.
He's on your side this morning. 13-1?
Fun
Yeah.
series.
That's a boat race right there.
Yeah, this week's really important.
Why so?
If Mets were to take this series this week,
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to put it out of reach.
Really?
I mean,
Yeesh.
they're going to win the division.
Until last night, they had won 17 of their last 20.
God, dog. This is rare for them, right?
Yeah. That's what happens when you get an adult in a room at manager. That's what Jacksonville's hoping.
And a
That's
ton of
what
cash.
they are. And a ton of
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Is baseball the most egregious when it comes down to spending the way they do
Yes.
when they decide
sure,
to
there's
flip
no
the
Because there's no
switch?
cap.
I know, but it's like they'll just bottom feed for so friggin' long.
But, I mean, the Braves are 4.5 back, but they get them, 3 more
Yeah.
times this week. And
It's
so
a 4-game series?
I think it is, yeah.
God. What determines 3 and 4 game series? Do you?
I don't know.
Me either. I never looked that up, Jay. Here
But,
I am
this
asking you
is
a question. I got
division, obviously.
division might be the reason why.
It might be.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
looked
4-game
that up.
series, though. So, yeah, tonight and then Wednesday. And I'm just going to double check, see if I was right about that.
Is it in
It's
Atlanta?
Thursday.
Or New York.
And Thursday. It's in Atlanta. The whole series is in Atlanta. Yep. Through Thursday.
Goes extra innings of the side. No, it should be a
Don't expect a sweep, but if we could take 3, I'll take that.
What if
That'll
it's a
get us
split?
closer.
If it's a split, then Mets pretty much take it at that point.
No, I mean, it's not over. It's August
Yeah.
19th, but this is where you can make up some ground.
Ah, okay, got you. Yeah, I've always wondered that. I've seen some teams have 3-game stretches. I've seen some have 4-game through the regular season. Now, I'm not talking about the playoffs when it goes that way, but yeah, New York finally got something nice, man. I wonder how many. Well, it usually rolls that way, right? Jets, Mets.
I mean, the Braves are a 6.5 game favorite in
That's
the wild card, though. They've won 7 in a row.
Yeah.
7-3 in their last 10, so they're playing great ball. But I mean, the Mets were on fire. Pretty much everybody's been on fire that's a contender outside of the Padres and the Yankees.
And the Yankees, that's what I was going to
Yankees have been
say.
horrible.
My son has become he's a bigger Aaron Judge fan, but he follows the Yankees because of it. My oldest has been losing his mind because he's like, they're dropping so many games. I think they've lost 8 of their last 10, if I'm not mistaken.
They're
and
2-8 in their last 10.
Yeah, 2-8. Like, just bad
They still
timing.
got a 10-game lead in the division.
Yeah,
Because of
it's hilarious to hear him speak on it though, simply because he's like, well, they're not supposed to be winning. I'm like, RJ, it's baseball. They're gonna drop a few here or there. Judge is still crushing it, but his team offensively can't get it going. And
they need to fire their manager.
And they were saying the back end of the bullpen too has just been lacking. Why you say the manager got to get let go?
He's made some bad calls. He's made some bad decisions. They're doing fundamental things wrong.
Yeah,
And that's a franchise that shouldn't have like a middling Aaron Boone-like manager.
Yeah,
Especially when the Mets go grab Buck Showalter.
yeah.
And the Yankees fans are like, why couldn't we had him? Everybody said he was too old. Well, you've got a guy that hasn't gotten you anywhere.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of talent on that team. Now, some of those guys are not performing particularly well with the Yankees right now. But, I mean, they're having base running errors. Whatever that was in center field last night, I don't know if you saw that. But you should go watch that during the break. That's about as bad an error as you will ever see a major league player make.
No way.
He lost the ball, it seemed like 3 times in the air. He's just like running around with his head cut off. John in the Borough. John?
What's up, John?
What's up? Good morning, fellas.
Morning.
You could play the song because that's Contreras' walkout music.
Yeah, it's true.
And when,
Is it?
Yeah.
When Contreras walked out last night, a bunch of Mets fans got all pissed off, and the announcer was talking about it. He said, look, Contreras has been using that music, too, all year. So you could be playing that music.
Yeah!
It's true. I know it's being given to Diaz because he's had it since 18. He's used it more frequently this year. Contreras has started using it this year, I think.
It's the drop. The drop gets it every free, but I guess that's house music. Is that technically house music or reggaeton? It's one or the other. Either way, it's freaking phenomenal.
It's good-ish.
It's good-ish.
It being the Chapin Mets fans, I'm happy with.
I've never seen you so anti of a team as you are with the Mets.
By the way, he
man.
came up to Narco and hit a home run,
Did he?
and Mets fans are booing.
Of course.
Furious.
Of course. Well, so this is just a divisional opponent right here. Like I'm actually happy to see you dislike a fan base this much, Jay. Like that, I know
Screw
where you
them
come
kids.
from. Yeah, Bernie Mac voice.
Or the MJ meme.
Hey,
Yeah.
screw the kids.
Them kids.
Screw the kids.
Yeah, what about
Jay.
them kids? What about them kids?
With that being said, like this is deep, but the thing is, I'm gonna say this, and it's exactly the same way I feel about the Browns. The Mets haven't had much nice happen, and neither have the Browns, right? But it's just like you keep them down, Jay.
No.
Is that what it is?
But the Mets have at least won a couple of titles. Browns haven't won anything since like 1842.
And those go to Baltimore now, don't they?
No, they stay in Cleveland.
They stay. You see,
The
me trying to
history
hold 'em
stays
down?
there.
You see
Yeah.
me trying to hold them
I
down.
know.
though.
It's not very nice.
Is it ever nice in sports, Jay? Never.
Hey.
Absolutely not. Jay, is there another team that you dislike that much like this?
At one point, I hated the Raiders like this.
Did you? Why the Raiders? They're a West Coast team.
But I mean, they are, but it's Broncos, it's AFC West.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I forget that part. Yeah. The Raiders haven't had much success. You're speaking like early 2000s.
Yeah, well, no, it's just they were the hated rival when I was growing
Okay.
up. They're always Broncos Raiders is the rivalry,
Is the rival.
despite the Chiefs and the Chargers.
Was interesting. I never really knew who the Broncos rivalry was. It's not broadcasted as much as Steelers, Baltimore, or Indy Titans, or Washington Dallas. I never knew Denver had a deep rivalry like that.
Big time.
Is there another team too that you guys always pit up against? I'm sure all AFC West, right?
I mean, Indianapolis when Peyton was there, which a lot of teams could say because he just owned us.
Peyton didn't
And then we
care.
took him.
Yeah, you did. And never forget the slide. Shafe, you forget the slide?
Can never forget the slide.
Did he give himself up in the playoff game?
Did he?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
We
saw Matt Ryan do the exact same move Saturday afternoon. Yeah. And they called it dead, and it was a sack.
Yeah,
that was my only thing. He got down, got back up, and threw it out to Emmanuel Sanders, Jason. You remember that, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
I know you do. Mm-hmm. Did he give himself up?
Nope.
Your fandom is like, nope. Did not give himself up. That burns, Jay. That burns. That was probably one of my worst playoff losses ever. And that was the only thing I can think of. Peyton gave himself up and threw to a former teammate at that. That might be one of the worst moments ever right there, was that move right there. But shout out to Peyton. Go Vols. By the way, Vols picked up another commit yesterday, too. 4-star corner.
One of those that thinks the Vols are all right.
Vols all right. They picked up a 4-star corner, true 4-star corner out of Baton Rouge, man. Jordan Matthews is his name. Big time commit for the Vols yesterday, man. The kid is, 6'2", 6 foot 165, cover corner. They had Texas as the crystal ball prediction, as 100% was going to get him. And I always looked at it sideways a little bit. It was two predictions on him as they do this crystal ball stuff. Both of the insiders were Texas beat writers. So he flipped yesterday, and that was a huge get for a team that needs good quality defensive players, man. So go Vols, baby. Go Vols. Big time pickup.
Couple weeks away from actually playing.
Say what? Yeah.
Go Vols.
Did you see what Tatis's dad said?
No, I did not see what his dad. I was logged off a little bit.
His mom apparently posted a photo of his neck with ringworm and the cream, saying he wasn't kidding, folks. And his dad's like, he got it from a haircut. So now he's got parents saying different things.
I could see that. I mean, you can get a ringworm from a haircut. People with dirty clippers and stuff. I've seen guys, I remember kids having ringworms earlier when we were younger. They got it from barbers, house barbers and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a true thing. I'm not sure he's using that cream as that. I talked to a baseball guy last night, and he was pretty much saying, if you know that, then you know he was actually using. You know, when he got caught was in March. They had the lockout earlier this year, right? So whatever he was using then is during a time they weren't being tested. Somehow, some way, I don't know if it was because of the rehab or because they had just cranked up the regular season or were about to, and he got tested and he got popped during a lockout. Talking to a baseball guy is pretty much saying he knew he had time to go juice. That's the way. That's the reason his teammates are all chapped at him too. Is because he couldn't be the one doing that type of stuff. So this is all alleged, but he's taking the 80 games. A big black out of baseball to me. For a sport that needs its superstars, for a sport that can't afford to have any bad vibes when it comes to the way they build the baseball MLB brand. That sucks. Imagine LeBron popping negative or dirty. You know what I'm saying? That's essentially what it was for baseball. And what's even crazier, I almost made him bleep you, but it made no sense.
You compared him to LeBron?
No, I'm just saying as far as superstars in the sports, representation, Shafe.
He's not quite that level.
He's not. Well, who's the LeBron of baseball right now?
He's more like
LeBron's
Kevin Durant.
Tatis is like
Durant.
So who's superstar level guy in baseball then? Aaron Judge, Soto, Tatis.
You want the truth?
Yeah.
Nobody.
I mean, Trout's the closest thing you've had.
Okay, but in the grand scheme of
in
measuring
my opinion,
sticks,
Ohtani, because he's doing things that haven't been done in 80 years.
Okay, Ohtani, and to me, still, I think Tatis is in that conversation.
I'm not putting
as far as baseball.
LeBron.
I'm not saying LeBron exactly, but I'm saying in the correlation of baseball, Tatis,
he's a top 5 star in the league.
Who?
Tatis.
That's LeBron level then for baseball.
I'm saying LeBron.
I'm not saying
prime.
he's
not LeBron now.
I'm not saying he's LeBron. I'm saying as far as baseball goes, at the superstars that they have in that sport, that's the level of superstar that Tatis is.
He's a big-time superstar. I just think LeBron's a different animal.
screw LeBron. All right, he's. You know what?
Now I'm just having fun with it.
Y'all
Schaefer decided to argue.
Y'all got it.
So I was like, I'm gonna piggyback off him.
I just raised a question.
No, I'm not comparing him to LeBron. You know what? We got to go to a break. And I know this.
He's a big-time star that would have had a statue built for him.
LeBron.
No tattoos.
Potentially would.
Nah, just build a statue for him. Just have him applying cream on the statue.
But yeah, he's saying it was a bad haircut.
What is wrong?
I hope he knows nobody's going to buy that.
All right, let's look up. Let's look up. Can you catch ringworm?
We're not looking up
you can.
ringworm.
You can. You can.
Yeah,
I looked that up. You can.
You can.
Or you can catch stuff.
I'm 2 for 2 this morning, and you two decided.
Why are you going to a shoddy
contrarian.
barber if you're Fernando Tatis?
Well,
Why don't you have somebody come to your house for $1,000 a cut?
South American, they don't have that type of technology to sanitize the clippers on spot. What if it's
you do? It's called alcohol.
He's got a what if he has a personal barber and the barber just doesn't clean
I
him?
can't do this anymore.
You have $350 million or whatever.
That doesn't help the barber with his hygiene. If the
Helps you
barber
to hire a better barber.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, now he will.
Oh, please.
I would say he got caught. It's probably not the first time he cheated.
That's what I
That's what
told you. I
a lot
was
of
talking
people
to a
are
guy
probably
last
thinking.
night. This is probably he just got caught this time.
Yeah. And that's unfortunate because that calls into question everything he's done. And that's why this Hall of Fame thing with steroids always gets this way. Because if you can get to what I just said, you can't vote for the guy because you can't trust anything that he's done.
Ortiz made it in.
I know he did. Played in Boston.
Yep.
Was part of that resurgence.
Yep.
And somehow he's one of the few guys that skated.
Yep.
Jay Martin, Ramon, 104.5 Zone. For nearly 80 years, Lee Company's been helping Tennesseans stay comfortable in their homes. Everything that they do is just top-notch, top quality. The people they send to your home are experts in their fields. It all starts with a home maintenance plan. For $99 a year, your home gets 4 comprehensive tune-ups from 4 expert technicians that focus on cooling, heating, plumbing, and electrical systems. That's right. All of that for less than $9 a month, $99 a year. Invest in your home today. You can trust in their expert pros to give you the peace of mind that you deserve. Again, I'm part of their maintenance plan. And when they come out, they haven't found anything that didn't need to be fixed. But I knew we had a 20-year-old HVAC. I knew some other things were going on. They fixed some small electrical stuff around the house as well. This is a company with over 80 years of experience. Been trusted since 1944. 14 community locations, 1,600-plus employees involved in the community. And they're going to make sure your home is taken care of. The home maintenance plan is absolutely worth its weight in gold. Call them today at 615-567-1000. That's 567-1000. Or go to LeeCompany.com. Lee Company, all you need. Welcome back. J Mart and Ramon, 104.5 The Zone. All Four Seasons Garage Doors in Nashville. Make it possible. Ramon Foster, Jonathan Schaefer, and Jason Martin. Buck Rising today. Ron Slate today. Brian Rice today.
Yeah.
And you, 615-737-1045 if you'd like. So I saw that. You know what? I went back and looked at the Zach Wilson injury, and it did not look good.
No.
Like, it looked like his season might be a wrap.
Yeah.
They may have dodged a bullet.
No, they did dodge one.
Even though bone bruise is annoying and all this stuff,
yeah,
it's possible they dodged a bullet. The biggest thing was before the injury, he threw an awful interception. Like, horrendous interception.
Yeah.
Like, last year, Zach Wilson kind of interception. So...
Yeah, he's got to get out of his own way. He does. He has hardly any protection either. I think they signed Dwayne Brown, but losing Mekhi wasn't good. Dwayne Brown is very serviceable. I think he'll do a good job, but he's a little bit older. It depends on how his wear and tear is going to be throughout the season. Zach they're hopeful. They're trying to surround him with as many weapons as they possibly can. I'll say this. I heard one of his wide receivers yesterday. I forget which one it was, but they were speaking on the differences between Joe Flacco and Zach Wilson. And it really sounded like he'd rather be catching footballs from Joe Flacco than it actually was, Zach Wilson. He was saying how easy it is to catch a Joe ball. Joe know how to throw the slant, take some speed off of it. If he throws a deep ball, he knows how to set you up. And I'm listening to Spain and Fitz. It was them last night. And they're pretty much saying if you listen to him, it sounds like he'd rather be playing with Joe Flacco. It's just the fact that Zach Wilson is the guy that they choose to go to. It's like that sometimes. These young guys, man, they're so systematic coming out of college. Like, and I'm not saying all of them, but the experience of a franchise starting quarterback for years in the NFL is of course, it's stating the obvious. It's easy. It's so easy for them to do it in certain situations, unless you're Carson Wentz, man. There is a difference, and Zach still hadn't figured that out yet. He pretty much said Zach will beam the ball in to him, and he's got a really nice arm. But just in general, Flacco knows how to lead him on plays. He knows how to, hit the out route. He was like, it's not really a matter if it's a slant or if it's an out route. He knows how to place the ball there. And, I guess that's one of the reasons why their coaching staff bragged on Joe Flacco being an NFL starting caliber quarterback.
I believe their week 1 game is Baltimore, which makes that fun because Flacco has already talked about how he wants to get back at them a little bit.
Flacco's actually said something about it?
He's talked about how he can't lie how special that would be.
I didn't see that, man, being the case. Good for Flacco. Way to hold their feet to the fire, man. He goes in there and beat them, which I don't think.
Can I be honest?
No. Yeah.
I saw him with Denver.
Yeah.
Go to the house, man.
What you think it's a wrap for him?
That ain't.
That's not what Salah said.
Yeah.
That's not what Salah said, Jay.
I don't care.
Yeah, but either way, he's going to be starting week 1. But again, them getting lucky, that bone bruise is nothing nice. Him being an athletic quarterback, hopefully it doesn't hinder him too much during the season, but it is a BA, Jay. It really is. All that can heal it is time. You can't even really put a bone stimulator on it to kind of like help speed up the healing. They were trying to do like laser therapy on mine to help break down the cells and help build back up the blood flow throughout the knee and whatnot. It's nothing but time. But we'll see how it works out. They got lucky for their franchise quarterback, though. I'm hoping they can at least be competitive because New York really doesn't have much. Danny Dimes was not great either as far as New York teams go.
No. Well, look, I think that's been over. I'm still surprised they didn't go get Garoppolo.
Yeah.
But maybe they're just not competing this year anyway.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't matter. I heard Albert Breer yesterday talking about Kenny Pickett.
What about him?
He said, after watching camp and talking to people, he's a guy who we now believe plays much better than he practices, and that's a problem because he always looks less than. Mm-hmm. Like his practice stuff, like when the lights go on, he's ready to go. But a practice player is not. It's like, how do you give that guy the job when you're seeing him every day as a rookie and he's not getting the job done?
See, I never understood.
But you have to believe in the idea that he's going to show up for you when it counts.
On the knocks on Kenny Pickett, because I just watched his game film last year. Mm-hmm. The guy balled out. Yeah. And had all the traits that you would want in a starting quarterback in the league. He's not ready now to be a starter. Mm-hmm. Like I said, that situation is somewhat similar to what the Titans have down here. But that was some of the knocks about Kenny Pickett. I'm like, the guy just goes out and plays. Mm-hmm. And he plays well. And, yeah, I would agree. He tends to be a better in-game player than a practice player.
Well, see, that's the reason you have games, too, though. That's the reason why the preseason games, we spoke about that the other day, is, guys get in practice and they're just dudes. They're just guys. They're just jags, man. Just another guy on the practice field. And then when the lights come on, they turn it all the way on. We're watching one guy in particular. I know he's been having a good string of practices as of late, but Chance Campbell. He's been a guy that showed up a lot on game day this past weekend and did some good things. I've seen guys do this stuff time and time again. And it's honestly, it's on the coaching staff to either make the script flow a little bit better in practice or just believe that the guy is going to get the job done when it comes down to turning the lights on in the stadium. I don't want to call that a weak excuse of saying, well, he's a better practice player or he's a sucky practice player than he is game. I think that's bad. That's one thing they said about Josh Dobbs, right? And we've been searching for a quarterback like him since now we got Hendon Hooker. I think that's a silly take. That's lazy coaching a little bit or bad reporting almost, if you ask me. Yes, he's a terrible practice player. But it's the idea that when the lights come on, he goes, and that's all that matters. Is it wins and losses on the practice field, or is it wins or losses in the stadium?
Well, I think it's hard to evaluate if he looks terrible all week or he looks like he's not a starting quarterback in the league. Then he shows up in preseason action, and you're like, well, what do you believe at that point?
I personally believe that he's a gamer. We use that term a lot, though, and then when it comes down to really breaking the guy down, you knock him, but I'm a fan of watching guys do work, the surprise play, the adrenaline through their veins when it comes to, hey, some guys just got it like that. Some guys got bad bodies, and next thing you know, you see this guy here dunking, doing 360s or blocking guys like you wouldn't believe they possibly can. Or, we speak about, the dynamics of the way people are built. Some people got flat feet. Some people got no calves. Some people can't bench well. Like, I was never personally a big-time bencher compared to other guys on the offensive line or defensive line. But I never had an issue with strength. So it's like, well, which one is it, Mon? Are you benching 455 or is it just simply you just play well? Like, my 225 at the combine was 19 to 20 reps. I never had an issue in college with strength. And when it came down to one rep max, like, it was never a big thing. I just couldn't rep out. You have some guys, man, that go do the combine and they're repping 35 times, but they play like Jane on game day. I specifically remember a guy watching him throw up like 345 10 times and go get blasted on the practice field. Mm-hmm. And then in the game field, he can't move. He can't hold his gap. That type of stuff happens. I love to know why it's a big issue if the guys show up, or it's the opposite of that too. I've seen coaches keep players on roster because, man, potentially he could be something for us. Like, no, that dude is wasting a roster spot, man. Like, what are we actually doing here? Just because we think he's going to do something, or he has a first-round tag, or he's a draft pick tag, or he's the brother of somebody. Like, no, if they're trash, call them trash. I'm okay with that too.
Well, what do you think of Pickett?
Pickett, I think he's solid. I think he still has to grow. That's my biggest take on him. I saw him play. He was a little bit of a gamer, athletic-type quarterback that can move the pocket. He's a create-a-play type of guy too. All college quarterbacks have to be safe of how they get down and get out of bounds. It's the same thing I would say about Malik is stay in the pocket. Don't use your legs first and foremost and know when to get down. Not every play is a home run or is a touchdown. I thought he was okay this past weekend. Had 2 touchdowns, but he's also playing against the threes. He managed that well. He was excited. The crowd was excited. Honestly, the exact same way the Titans were with Malik and the same way the Falcons were with Ritter. Like, everybody's excited about the young guys. And that's a good place to be at.
It is. We have no idea what they're going to do, but, I mean, there's not anything they could have done to have proven anything else yet.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's more to the point of where everybody is. Top 100, are they releasing those every day?
Yeah.
Or are they like parceling them out by the week? I assume they're doing them by the day.
It has to be by the day. It's the lead up for sure. This weekend is going to end up being preseason games again. I just can't see them being ready for that.
Yeah,
or not doing it.
If they were doing it by the week, they would still be doing it before the season was over. That's true. All right, so 50 to 31 is Sunday. No, they're doing it weekly. They're doing 20 a week. They're doing 20 each Sunday.
20 a week? Goodness.
50 to 31, Sunday, August 21st.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, they're doing them all. They're doing 4 this Sunday. 50 to 31 at 4:30, and then at 11 p.m., 30 to 21. At least that's the television special. And then 20 to 1, Sunday, August 28th.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
You don't really need to parse
they drop
it all
anybody
out.
else? I said, are we looking for anybody else on this list? How high is Derek this year?
I would say he's in the top 20.
Even with the foot. Is Jonathan Taylor higher?
Maybe. They're probably pretty close to one another.
The one thing I will say is all national media has been giving Derek his respect when it comes down to it too. He has been the guy when it comes down to asking the best running back in the league. Derek still holds that crown, man. That is, especially with Jonathan Taylor in this division. This first 2 weeks, the first 6 weeks of the season, between these two, I wonder, will there be a separator of Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry? Or will Derek finish this game off with 140 yards, touchdown, and like 40 yards passing? That's another aspect of Derrick Henry this year I hope to see. Last year, we got a real good taste of him catching the ball out of the backfield. I wonder, will they actually take that same approach this year?
I'm very curious. I sent you guys something on Friday with Frank Wright basically saying, I'm hoping Jonathan Taylor doesn't lead the league in touches. He doesn't believe that you can win doing that.
Really?
Yes. Considering his run game. I find that really interesting, considering the Titans and the Colts and the way that they're built and the lack of receivers in Indy in terms of guys that you like. And he's saying, no, I don't want to do that to JT. I want a much more balanced attack. I don't believe in this NFL you can do that. I think that's really interesting considering that team and what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that would say that you're going to do a lot with Matt Ryan.
My thing was watching him get skittish in the pocket this past weekend against a Chicago Bears team. Wasn't it? No, they played. Was it the Bills? Did they play the Bills this past weekend? Colts, Bills? Either way, he got skittish as heck in the pocket. And as soon as it happened, I was sitting there watching it with Ron. Ron was like, yep, that's what we're looking for right there. That's the guy we know and love. It was Indy versus Buffalo. And they surrounded him, and he dropped basically on his backside. And, yes, he's being safe. But you have to say if that's what he's going to do and how he's going to operate, they better be real good in the run game, and their receivers got to work harder to get open, man. That was kind of telling.
Going down in preseason, he's not going to get hit, man.
But he had opportunity. That was a crossing route coming to finish the play out, and I was just like, good, that's an ugly look for him.
I think he's fine. I think he's a better version of Rivers.
A better version of Rivers? Well, if that's the case, they made the playoffs, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Almost beat the Bills, had the drive to beat the Bills.
Okay.
In that playoff game. I think they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
I don't look at Matt Ryan going down in preseason because I think at his age, I'm going down too. Just like Tom, anybody else, I'm certainly not going to get hit. I don't care if a crossing route's coming or not.
Yeah.
Those games don't count. Zach Wilson's getting a non-contact injury because he's diving in the preseason like an idiot.
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah. 615-737-1045 is the telephone number. 737-1045. Jay Martin Ramon here, 1045 The Zone. Genesis Diamond's most extreme values on diamond engagement rings coming to an end. You got till Sunday at 5. That's it. To get the price of a lifetime on a certified GIA certified diamond ring. People are driving for hours to buy like a dealer buys. All GIA certified diamond rings on sale, a full 20% discount off Genesis amazing everyday value price. We're talking values you never thought possible, from a half carat to 20 carat. All handpicked for maximum brilliance. Graded by the most prestigious gem lab in the world. This is why owners and dealers are shopping alongside you inside Genesis right now. Rounds, ovals, princess, cushion, emeralds, whatever the cuts are. Genesis has the largest GIA diamond ring selection you've ever seen. And now through Sunday, you can take advantage of this rare buying opportunity. Limit 1 per customer, please. Get the Genesis no middleman direct importer price minus an extra 20% on all GIA diamond engagement rings. Now through Sunday only at Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills, and Cool Springs. See store for details.
Join 104.5 The Zone's 3HL as we broadcast live from Scoreboard Bar and Grill this Thursday, 3 to 6. Stop by as we're joined by Tampa Bay Buccaneers legend Rondé Barber as we talk Bucs, Titans, also sports betting. Thanks to Superbook. For more info, visit 1045thezone.com/events.
Thank you, Mr. Schaefer.
Thank you.
Who you said? Rondé Barber.
That's right.
That's a cool deal to get right before the season, I would say. Week 2 of the preseason. Yesterday, I didn't see anything from camp that looked like an injury. Did I miss something? I don't mean with the Titans. I mean kind of across the league.
No, saw no injuries yesterday. Today is cut day, though.
Yeah, so 5 guys.
5 guys down to 85 today.
And then there's the second cut is what?
I think August 26th or so.
So we're getting there, but we're not quite there to where there's going to be too much surprising today, I would think.
For the Titans?
No, period.
Nah.
Just across the league, I don't see a bunch of like, wow,
veteran?
really?
Who's a bubble veteran? Nobody. I do know that the Bucs signed Danny Shelton yesterday, too, another big D tackle. I wonder what prompted that signing. Big old D lineman, too.
Trey Lance. Everybody's talking about Trey Lance all of a sudden.
You see what your guy said? Barnwell?
What did he say? Breakout player?
MVP candidate. MVP candidate.
There's got to be some context to that.
And Louis Riddick said it too. He goes, he's going to take the league by storm. You're starting to see that everywhere now. I'm going to need to see him play actual football. And I said, what, did you see him in the preseason? Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Hey, MVP candidate. Like, this is Pat Mahomes, like, is what he's saying.
One player, tier 1, one player who barely played last season but might be an MVP candidate in 2022, belongs in a class of his own. Trey Lance.
Yeah.
So, there's no context.
No context. They've just made a prediction. Like, this has got to be huge unless they just think that.
I like Bill Barnwell.
They are comparing. A lot of people are starting to compare him to Mahomes, and I need that to stop because dude's got to accomplish something before you can start doing that.
What I saw this past weekend, he's a little high on his passes. He's a little skittish at times. He does have a beautiful long ball like Patrick Mahomes. He can move and create all of those things. To drop a Patrick Mahomes comparison, that's
a bold take.
That's a bold take, Barnwell. And like I say, he's a friend of the show. So that is very interesting to me how he pulled that one out of his bag.
Yeah, I actually want to watch him play football before I crown the guy.
Yeah. 100%.
I don't think it does him any favors to do anything else other than that, too. You know?
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
I just kind of easy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've seen him do nothing.
Yeah. No, matter of fact, Danny Shelton's with the Chiefs. I knew it was one of those red teams. I said it was one of those red teams. They're so quick, but see, that's the issue too, Jay. When we speak about these young guys in this league, as far as the quarterback goes, everybody's excited for them. In the pro style era, and I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to the hype behind it as much as I do now, but in the pro style era, other than Peyton, because I know Peyton had a whole lot of fanfare, was it this type of hype for these guys coming in, or is it just exciting for the Trey Lances, the Zach Wilsons, and Malik type guys, Kenny Pickett, just all these young quarterbacks because they're athletic and exciting? Like, that's the part that's kind of questionable to me. Like, was this supposed to be was this similar to the pro style guys where they just straight drop back and they deliver? I'm seeing these guys now. It's like, man, everybody's excited to have a Patrick Mahomes type, a Lamar type, and is that going to be the guy that gets you over the edge because they are the 11th athlete on the field? Like, is that why Trey Lance is such a guy right now? That Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't a guy that can move around and create or run the ball down the field. Like, is that why he's an MVP candidate? Like I said, Barnwell didn't give any context to it, but those extra yards that Lamar got in his MVP season.
Can I change that just a little bit?
Go ahead.
Is it so much that they're excited about athletic quarterbacks, or it just shows how much they don't like the quarterback they currently have?
But I'm speaking of Barnwell, though, actually saying
well,
this.
but I'm
you
talking
saying
about the fans, because you mentioned like fans and the hype with it.
Is it that they don't like the quarterback that they have? I didn't think Jimmy G was that bad. What was his biggest issue? He missed that Emmanuel Sanders pass down the sideline?
Yeah, he wasn't great in the NFC Championship game.
That was his
in the clutch.
He wasn't bad in the second half of that game at all.
Okay, all right. So let's look at Malik's situation. We know that. There's no need to even discuss that even more. There's a lot of his fan base that's not over that. In Pittsburgh, they just done with Ben, and so they're looking for the next quarterback. And Mitch Trubisky is a failed experiment in Chicago, and now he's predicted to be the starter in Pittsburgh. Who's another guy? Desmond Ridder.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's following up Matt Ryan. I can get that and understand it, but you also have Marcus Mariota too. So I get it. Maybe that's what it is, Shafe, more than anything. They just hate the guy that they have. So let me go flirt with the guy that I think is going to do something for me. Ridder was nice, but I didn't give him all of that. And I need a bigger sample size for sure before I start running these guys into the ground and saying what they're not going to do, because everybody doubted Lamar. Everybody doubted. Heck, even I was like, what is a Patrick Mahomes? And he came in and dropped 45 on us, and the legend of him was born. So it happens. This excitement is just weird more than anything. Even with Zach Wilson almost. Oh.
Luckily, we got games to play, and we'll figure it out. All this stuff's going to be determined. I just wondered with Lance. I'm just like, man, everybody is on it. And I understand you have a Super Bowl roster, and maybe that's part of this. If you got a Super Bowl roster, you got a much better chance as a quarterback to get the job done with weapons around you.
Yeah.
But, dude hadn't played barely any football in like 3 years.
The Shanahan effect too, right?
Yeah, that helps. I mean, they're a contending team. If he's good, they're as good as you can find in the AFC or in the NFC. They're right up there amongst everybody else.
Yeah. As far as the NFC West goes, 49ers got it, you think? As opposed to last year, it was a freaking
No, I don't know that they've got it. The Rams are still the Rams. If their quarterback's fine, they're still good. Really good.
About the Rams.
It's a two-team race. We're not talking about Arizona at all.
We're not even saying a whole lot about them. I guess it's just business as usual.
Well, you got Stafford's elbow.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying in
that's
general, with the Super Bowl odds and everything else behind it, they do still have a stacked team.
AP Top 25 is out.
Yep.
Tell you about that after the headlines. Brian Rice in 25 minutes. Jay Martin and Mo 104.5 The Zone. You want to paint the living room. You want to have pets. You want to upgrade stuff for yourself. You don't want to worry about the noise above or below you, or you want to have your own television up loud when you're watching those movies or whatever it is that you're doing. Renting can get old. Instead of sending your monthly payments to your landlord's pocketbook, what if you put them to work for you in your dream home? Buying a home, big decision. A lot of things that you need to take into consideration. You can get overwhelmed. You can not know where to start. You can just feel less than in a lot of ways, but you're not alone. Mortgage experts can help you get on the right track, understand the process, make a plan that utilizes your best options. As the Southeast's leading mortgage lender, Mortgage Investors Group is here to help you get the right home loan for you because they care. They're going to make sure you close on time. It's going to be structured right. Your dreams are going to be realized. Let Mortgage Investors Group go to work for you. Go to migonline.com to find the office nearest you. That's migonline.com or text MIG to 31399. That's MIG to 31399 to get pre-qualified. Mortgage Investors Group, the right home loan. Equal housing lender, license number 109111.
7:02. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer from the Superbook.com sports desk. William Contreras and Eddie Rosario hit back-to-back home runs in the second inning. Ronald Acuna Jr. doubled 3 times, drove in 3. The Atlanta Braves spanked the New York Mets 13-1 for their 7th straight win. The Braves moved within 4.5 games of New York for the NL East lead. Game 2 of the 4-game series tonight at Truist Park. First pitch set for 6:20. Dodgers ace and former Vandy star Walker Buehler will have season-ending elbow surgery. Alabama #1 in the Associated Press preseason college football poll for the second straight season, 9th time overall. Ohio State 2, defending